Okay, great. So welcome everybody. Today, inshallah, we will build a simple web page together today using HTML and CSS only. Some basic stuff you have just to practice and learn new things as well. So let me explain here to do today. So we will have, like, for example, design some cards like these. Okay, you can use it in many projects. Like here, I use it to, for example, to present my team in my. Maybe you can use it to, if you have online shop, you can display all your stuff, and yeah, we can card design in many cases, but we'll do today this one here. I just want you guys to see now. We'll try to make one card for this and make it as many times as you want, and we will know some stuffs like how to make the effects that makes the cards on top of things and have blur background, stuff like that. So yeah, guys, are you ready to start? Tell me in chat if you're ready so that we can start. Let's see. Okay, so you are ready. Okay, nice. Yeah, let's start now. Okay, everybody's hyped up, so that's really good sign. So yeah, let's, if you guys want to work with me, so open Visual Studio, and I will go step by step if you want to join me. So yeah, go ahead. So I'll start by an empty folder. I created this card designs, so I'll open it. It's totally empty, just I got some pictures that I will use. So yeah, first thing you want to do is start creating a new HTML document from here, from this icon here. Okay, I'll name it index.html. Okay. Yellow, let's start. Okay, so I'll do the shortcut HTML5 that we used multiple times. I'll basically give you a shortcut for the basic stuff that you want. And here in the title, for example, I'll name it, this is card designs. Example, and save, and open with live server. Okay, so you see now our page is empty. We have the title card designs. This is the original one that we want to do today to imagine what we are doing so that you don't get lost here. Okay, so let's go back to Visual Studio Code, and basically what you want to do is doing some cards. So let's see how I will create a division. Okay, we will use it a lot today. Okay, this tag, for example, I'll make it, I'll give it a class name to be my cards, for example. Okay, and put my content inside of it. So what inside my card, I want you to pay attention. So for example, this card here, what it's consists of. What do you guys think? How many things? Yeah, an image. We have also some text, and for example, social media accounts, for example. Yeah, we use this pen also. I will ahead so that nobody can be confused. Social media, yes. Image, name, title. That's great. Okay, guys. So now here inside my card, I want to include all the things that you mentioned. I want an image, and I want some text and social media. Okay, So let's now know how to put an image. We said you can use the image tag, okay, this tag right here. But now I will give you some structures that you want to follow in order to make your code organized. So first of all, I want to make inside my cart, I want to make just a container for my image and the text. Then I'll put my social media. So this section here, I'll make it for the content of my code. Okay, I will include inside of it the image and the text. Okay, so yeah. This is the vision, class name called image box. That includes my image inside of it. Okay, we said the image tag, how you use it. You put the source or the source for your image here inside the src. The alt here, it's for alternative text, because some browsers cannot load the image, or any reason that image doesn't load, it will show alternate text, for example, like we can try it, but let's now focus on the main things. If you want me to explain it, I'll explain at the end. Okay, so now I created a division for my image box and put my image here. Choose any image that I have in my folder. Okay, and inside my content, I will include division for my text. In your text, it will be inside this division. So for example, I'll make it content box. Okay, and inside of it, I'll put some headings, H3, to put the names. Okay, and the title, for example, creative designer. Okay, let me save it, see what happened. So now my image is here, and I have my name and title here. So our plan here is trying to add the basic elements that we want to include, and don't worry about the styling now, okay? When we go to start, everything will be clear. So you have to just include what you want. So we included, for example, the image and the name. We want to include, for example, the social media name. So how we do that? We will use now, after the image box and content box, okay, after my content, but inside my cart. So inside my cart, I'll include an ordered list. We used an ordered list to present our social media. So I will show you now using the listed item tag, li tag, this tag right here. So basically, I'll show you now. For example, I'll write Facebook and create another one for Insta and another one for Twitter. Save. You will see here now, this is the shape of the list, an ordered list. You already guys know it, I know. So that's how you create it using the U tag. Can you see the code, right? Or should I maximize it more? Okay, using the UL tag. Then for each item you want to include, you use the li tag so that you list your items. Okay, so now let's see what we did so far. Okay, you can see it clearly, thank you. Okay, so I have inside my body, I have one division. I called it card, give it a class name called card. We said before the last session, if you remember, we used the class names to organize our code and make it clear, and it will help us in the styling so that everything is easy. It's actually better if you increase the size bits, of course. No? Okay, it's 30. No good. Maybe make it 32, 34. Yes, thank you. Okay, so let me recap again what we did. We did just inside my body tag, I did one division called, give it a class name called card, that simply will hold anything that I want to include in my card. So inside my card, I have two divisions, or one division called content to my image and my text, and one list to hold my social accounts, for example. Okay, and how it looks: an image, a text, and a list. Is this card clear so far? Before we continue, if you guys have any questions about some stuff, I know I'm going fast before some of them, but if you are first time or anything, ask me. I will be glad to explain everything. If you have any questions, I'm here. So now we just finished the code. We'll do nothing else. We just copy this code 3 times so that we'll have multiple cards. So let me do that. Okay, if you have any questions, please. Okay, clear until now. So I copied 1 time, second time. So we'll have now 3 cards on my page. Okay, I just will change the image. So here I'll put the full image 3 into save. Now I have all the HTML elements that I want to include in my web page so far. So now we are set with the HTML. We'll go to the styling now and figure out how to do this stuff. Okay, but one tip for you guys, because one of you guys asked me last time about the class names and the classes and IDs and stuff like that. So one tip that I want to tell you guys, if you have many items in your page, like having the same styling will have the same purpose, better include them in one container so that you can do the styling for them really easy. So I have, for example, today I have many cards on my web page, so I'll just create a division, the class name called container. Okay, and it will include all my cards. So I'll put all my cards that we did inside the container. So nothing changed, just a little bit of organizing. Okay, and again, this is the container, for example, for my cards, for example. And if you have, for example, many elements, the page here is including of cards only. But in your real web page, if you have many items in the web page, you can organize it a little bit more by adding, giving this, for example, make this in a section. Okay, and let me show you. I'll close the section. Put all my code inside the section. Okay. We didn't change anything, just a little bit of organizing so that you will see when we style, everything will be clear. So now I have inside my body tag, I have one section. Inside of it, I have a container for my cards and all my 3 cards. Okay. And after the 3 cards, I have the container closed and the section closed. And if you want in the future in your web page, you'll use the section tag many times. Okay, I'll show you the line number 30. Okay, where is it? Okay, so 30. Okay, content box. Okay, division for the image box, and this is the division for my content. Okay, second thing, I have an ordered list for my social. We can give this an ordered list a class name if you want. If you have many, for example, many lists in your website and you want to specify this list, you name it social media, for example. Yes, doesn't matter. Okay, But you have to be consistent. If you will give this a class name called social media, you have to put the class names or the class name in all your 3 and ordered lists, so that they take the visits. Yeah. Okay. Make sure that you have the right division in correct order, that you don't miss your styling. So this is my first card. Oops. Okay. Make sure that you have everything set before we go to style sheet. I'll create here a new style sheet that includes all my CSS rules. Okay. Is it good, Nabil? No? You finished? 9:30. Okay. So now we'll start styles in our style sheet, but let's first add a link using the link tag. Okay, so that I'll reference this style sheet in here using this one. So I'm telling now the browser that anything that I will include in the style sheet, apply it here, please, to my HTML elements. So that we said you got the tag name here or the class name or anything, and open all good. So again, we use the star here if you want to apply a certain change in all the elements. Like, for example, I want to make the margin 0 and the padding 0 for all my elements so far. So that we use the star. It will include some styles to all your way. I like to include font family so that the same font. I like this one when I save. Not this one. Yeah, this one. Okay. So you'll not see the margins and paddings removed from my web page. Try to yeah. Okay. So now I will go in the styles. I will just get step by step so that you're not confused. And I guys really want you to ask as many as you want. I'll be glad, yeah, guys, and it will be clear for you and other students as well. So now, the first tag that I will add the styles here is here in my body. Okay, I will start with my body tag, then I will edit the section tag, then I will edit the container, the card, step by step. So I'll edit, for example, so the body tag, okay. We want, for example, to make the background color, okay, make it a little bit dark. In my theme, I choose this color. Edit real quick. Feel free to change the colors, make it suitable for you. And let's just use the display functionality or usability we discussed last time. I will use here the value flex, and what that does, it will make my cards like next to each other instead of they are in the same line. Okay, and I will use the justify content to be centered and align items to be centered as well, so that we use these two. Justify content, align items, so that we make our content centered horizontally and vertically. And maybe, I'll use and maybe, make minimum height 100 view height. Okay, let's save. So this is all I want in my body now. You will see the change of them when we start styling the cards a little bit, so they will be now more visible. If you check here, you'll see now my images in the center of my page. So there's a little bit of change. So let's go step by step, and you'll see everything will be clear. Okay, so I finished the body tag. Now let's edit a little bit on the section. Okay, so this is the way I usually go through, is that using step by step. And if for example, if I don't want to add styles to the section, maybe I will pass it, I will not use it here. Okay, but let me guys show you how to do these circles right here. Okay. Okay, so this I will add it in the section. For example, I will use here pseudo element. Okay, before and after. Okay, these pseudo elements, I'll explain it. They control if you want to add some content before your section or after your section. You use these elements. Okay, so I'll use one for this circle and one for this circle. Okay, so let's see how we will add them. So using these pseudo elements, you will have to, I have an idea. Let me explain to you before we continue so that you're not confused. So that, CSS. W3 schools, always good. Okay. So we'll look for the before and after. We have many elements like first letter. We have here after, before and after. So you will see now, when I go to this example, you will see now I have in each one a heading called, this is a heading. This is the output and this is the code. So this heading now, he managed to add this icon here by using the pseudo element, okay, before using the content property. So using the content property, you specify what you want to include before your element. So he put the URL for this smiley face, and you can also include some text. Example, I'll add here notice and run the code. You'll see here now it's included before my heading. Content property. Okay, so this is my heading, and this is the thing that I included. If you want to include this after the element, you'll use the after keyword, and you will see here it's now after the element. Is it clear after and before? What's the purpose? So they are used to include some elements before and after your elements. So I hope it's clear. So now how I will use it in here, I will use the content property so that if I want to include text and stuff like that, but actually I will leave it empty. Okay. I want to reset the top property to be 0 and left property to be 0, and make the position, change it instead of relative, make it absolute, and it's 100% and height 100%. Okay. Okay, so why did I use these two dots? So this is the way you specify that you want to use a pseudo element, like right here, search about it. Okay. There's also pseudo classes. And the way you specify if you want or not, by simply using one column like this, and we have many classes like hover. We used it before, some classes, but for the pseudo elements, you have to include both columns and the name of the element that you want. Okay, so you'll see now when I save the change, let's give it a color so that you can see it. I'll use background property and give it a color. For example, any color. I save and go to my web page. You'll see now this is the element now. So you'll see it here, it's not a circle, it's a square. So I'll have to edit some things. So here I will use the clip path property. It's new one, this one, but it's really easy to explain. So we'll use the circle function here, so that I want to make it circle, and I will specify what I want this circle to look like and what's its position. Now I don't want the full width. I just want, for example, 30% of my element to make it smaller, and I want to position it at the right of my screen. Okay, when I save and see what happens, you'll see now. So this 30% of my circle, for example, and it's positioned to the right. Maybe if I want to make it down a little bit, here's the third value, so that make it 80% and save. You'll see here now it's coming at the bottom corner, bottom right corner. So let me explain it really quickly again. You have here three inputs. You have first one that controls the volume of your circle. If you guys see, if I increase the value, you'll see the circle here is bigger, okay? And as you decrease the size, now it's smaller and smaller. Okay. So maybe we wanted that now. Second thing is this value. You can specify right, or you can use percentages as well. So the percentages that represent the right is 100%. So 100% means it's the most right. So you see here nothing changed because they are the same value. And if you want to make it left, you make it 0%. And save, you'll see now. So what that means is that the value here controls the position of my circle from left and right. Okay, it's in my right corner, so I'll make it 100%. Now it's on one corner. Okay, I will show it now, Nabil. Let me finish the clip path property. So we said this controls the volume of my circle, this controls the position from left and right, and this controls the position from top and bottom. So now, if you increase the value, it will go down. If you decrease the value, like for example, make it 20%, you'll see it now it become at the top. If I want to make it at the center, I make it 50%. And if you want to be in the bottom, maybe increase the value a little bit, and it will be on the bottom. So you understand these three values, okay? Before we move on, okay. So now, let me finish this, Nabil, and I'll show you. I want, for example, to include, use this one here, the linear property here. This for mixing colors together. Yeah, so if I want, for example, to make first color, I will show you now. First color red, for example, and second color is pink. Okay, you will see now the circle has to come from the top and to the bottom, red to pink. So you use for this the linear gradient. Okay, and put your colors here. It will mix them. Okay, yeah, that's really good. Okay, we finished now section before. We did a circle here. We will use now another pseudo element so that we can include a circle, for example, on the top of my page. But first, let us see the link that you use in HTML in order to reference the style sheet. So now you'll go here. This is the code. You'll go inside the head element, okay, the head tag. That's where you place your link tag. This relationship, this means that this style sheet, this folder here is a style sheet to my HTML. So this indicates the relationship. Okay, and this indicates so you put the file name here. Okay, I think it's clear, Nabil. This one. Yeah. Guys, have to be a little bit patient because things will get messy before you add your styles. So you will have to just imagine what you want to do, and step by step through the practice, you will see the pattern go through, and you'll see, for example, here the image is too big and it's bothering me, but it's okay. Do not bother about that. If you want to remove it until you change the image styling and make it smaller so that your web page is more clear, you can do it as well. I'll show you how. But we finished section before. Let's do another one. I'll take the same code, okay, and put it here. Okay, but instead of before, I'll use the after this time. Okay, and I'll leave the content, leave the positioning, the width and height the same. I'll change maybe the colors. That's the only thing I will change. So now feel free to add your colors. For me, I like the light blue. So that's the color I'll use. And second color, for example, I'll use yeah. Okay, for example here. Let's change the position. So if I want to make the top left corner of my web page, how I will do that? I will focus on these two values, the contouring position. So we said this controls the left and right. So 100% right. Now if I want it on my left, I can simply use the left keyword, okay, and save it here in the left, or you can use the 0%, okay. And if you want to make it in the top, you will decrease the value of 80%, maybe make it 20, or maybe 10% even, so that it's in the top. If I want to make it smaller, I want to change this value. So instead of 30%, I'll make it 20%. Let's save. You can see here now, I completed the circles, and they are very good. So I hope it's clear for you guys, and you would want to practice it more so that it will keep you. But keep up with me. You can also finish the code, and after we finish, you can practice by yourself, change some values, and I hope that it will give you some additional skills. Okay, so now we finished so far the body, the section. Now we will go to the container. I want to edit my container a little bit. So I include my images in my container. Okay, it turned into half circle, like this one. So half circle is 50% in the first value. Like this half circle, for example. If you make it in the center of your page, it will be like this. This is half circle. You want to change this position. So if you want to make it smaller than half a circle, you edit the first. So less than 50% will be small. So I want to make it 20%, for example. You'll see now, it's now much smaller. Okay, and you want in the left or right, and you want top and bottom. So the top, if you decrease the value, and the bottom if you increase the value. So I want to make it at the top 10%. You'll see here now it's the far top of my page. Okay. So now let's now edit my container. We finished section. Now let's edit container. Yeah, so make the position again relative. Plain flex. So I'll make this plain flex so that you will see the difference. So by content center and align items be center. Flex wrap. Wrap. And save. Let me see. Think. Okay. Yeah, I didn't want that. And now let's make some margins outside my container so that I want margins from top and bottom only. So I'll make the top and bottom 40 pixels and left and right 0 pixels. You'll see here it's a little bit messy. Okay, but you'll see there is a margin here 40 pixels from the top and 40 pixels margin from the bottom. If you feel that the images is bothering you in this stage, you can make them, just comment them, like where is my image, this is my image. I can comment this, like this, and comment. So the comment here is useful if you want to remove elements from your web page, but it's still in your code. So that now the image is disappearing. Now I have only the elements. Maybe if I want to remove the comment again, you'll see now it's appearing again. Okay. So I appeared one image and its details. And here's supposed we have two images, but I make them invisible. Okay, so that we can focus on one thing. Okay. So the way you comment a code is by is then an exclamation mark and two dashes. You'll see now everything that you write inside here, it will be commented and it will not be displayed using this one and close the comment by this one. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so I finished my container. I want now to edit what's after the container. I have my cards now. So now we're gonna do styling on my cards. So now let me copy the card and use the container. Okay, and the cards. So now this code tells the browser that I want to edit every card inside only containers, no other cards on my web page. And now what I want inside my card, I want to specify a certain width and height for the card. So for example, I'll make the width 300 pixels and the height 400 pixels. Okay, let's add some colors and borders. So the color, I will make it just RGBA. Yeah, I'll make everything 0 now. And a little bit, so that's really light black. You'll see here now. Yeah, let's add some stuff. So I'll add margins in the cards so that I'll make 20 pixels margin from all my cards. So you'll see now I have margins. So let me remove the image for a second. So now if I want to remove the image, I'll comment it and save. You'll see here now, this is my cards. I don't know if you can see it, but if I make the background yellow, you can see it, I think. So now I'll go to my body, and it's visible, right? Okay. So I will just comment it really quickly. And you see here now, the card is looking like this. Okay. Now let's edit a little bit more. So I'll go again to my card. Okay. And add some box shadow so that you'll feel the clothing, for example. So box shadow takes 4 values. Okay. And 35 pixels. Okay. Maybe 0 pixel. Let's see what this means. You'll see now this is the box shadow. Okay. And if you want to know which value controls what, make every value is 0 for now. And just put here 10 pixels at the beginning and all 0. See which change applies. So the first value is controlling the shadow from the right that we know already. Okay, so that's why I use every one by its own. So let's now make it 0 again, and the second one make it 10. See what happens. So now it's controlling from the bottom. Okay, that's the way I experiment with things. Make the third one. You'll see here now it's adding from all the sides, like a little bit shadow, and you'll see the last one is doing the outlines. You'll see it here. It's doing after the shadow. Okay, so you can play with them a little bit. So I will give you guys the values that I will use. So the first one, I'll make it 0. Second one, I'll make it 15 pixels. Third one, I'll make it 35. And the last one, I can use the colors as well, RGBA, and I'll not give it a color, just a little bit of black, like this one. You'll see here now the outcome. Here, you'll see here now, I give the effects of the cards already. A little bit light, so that it looks really clean. Okay, so yeah, we finished the card, I think. Okay, we can add some stuff, like, for example, the edges of my card, I can make them rounded using the border radius. Okay, 20 pixels, for example. You'll see now the edges are circular now, or rounded, as you can see. So we use this, the border is radius, and as it will be more rounded. Okay, so this 200, for example, and this is, for example. So you'll see here a little bit of change. If I zoom, you'll see here a little bit not boxed again. Okay. Okay. Now, what other things that we want to include? Well, I want every element inside my in flex, so let me add that. And I added flex, so I have to add the justify and align items. Justify content center and align items so that they are centered horizontally and vertically. And last thing is that, yeah, I'll just increase the card width, for example, make it 400 and this 500. Okay, let me save. They are a little bigger. So now I told you that you can do some effects if some elements interfere with each other using the backdrop filter. Yeah, this one. Okay, and I will use the blur and make it by 10 pixels. You'll see the change here now. You'll see the card here. It's having a background blurry. Okay. This how to add the effects of that using the backdoor filter again, and use the blur. And as you increase again, if you make it 70 pixels, you'll see it's way blurry. And if you decrease the value, it will be a little bit. So that's what I want inside my cart. Okay, so they now look good. And now you'll see here my texts and social media are interfering with each other. They are displayed in Flex, okay? So they are beside each other instead of on top of each other as we saw in the beginning. So now let's edit them again. So I finished the cart. Let's edit the content, the image and the text. So now let's edit. Let me copy it and yeah, use the same thing. Text the content. So now, what do you want inside my content? Okay. I want to make them on top of flex and flex direction. I'll use the column value. Okay, nothing will change. Oh yeah, let me add specify content and align breakpoints. And oh, let me see. So nothing changed. This the content. Let's see. Let's paste it. Okay, what I want to include. So inside my content, I have an image and I have a heading. So let me experiment something. I will uncomment the image. Let's see it now. Okay, so this is the image. This is my text right here. So they are on top of each other. Okay. Yeah, let's use the opacity to make it a little bit like this. I want the effect to be like this. Okay. And use some transition. 0.5 seconds. This is for the animations. We'll use it later. But now this is the content. The image is too big. I'll apply the change to it now. So do you know what opacity means, guys? I don't know how to explain it in English, but we call it شفافية. Like it's giving this effect right here. So yeah, transparency. Yeah. Thank you for that. So if you want, for example, to make an effect, this effect right here, and the original one, they are having opacity by 0.5, and when I hover over them, they become original again. So how to do this effect? We'll use a pseudo class called the hover. So I will take the same code. Okay. But I will add here instead, when I hover over my cart, it will do this animation. So using the hover class, okay. So now if we take the opacity again, copy and paste, and make it 1 instead of 0.5. You'll see here the change. When I hover, it becomes the original opacity value. So this is the one that you are talking about, Nabil, using this column. This will use to add some pseudo classes and double columns for elements. Okay, this is one of the pseudo classes. We have hover, we have focus, we have many of them. I want just guys to show you how to use it. Okay. Yeah. Now let's go to the most favorite part. Is we finished the container, we finished the card content. Let's now edit finally the image box. Okay, make it smaller, make it. Yes, let's do it. Yeah. Okay, so now let's take the same thing. Okay, guys, I explained why we use this structure before. If you want to me explain again, tell me. If you understand it, why we put the class names beside each other. Okay, container card content, and inside my content I have image box. Copy that and use it here. Oops. So now I will apply my changes into my image box that is inside class name called content, that inside the card and container. Okay, so no one asked, so I suppose you know. So let's make the position finally relative and specify width and height for the box, so that, for example, 2 and the height as well, 250 pixels. Let's see now. I have, this is the width for my image, but the image is really big, so we'll edit that in a bit. Let's finish the image box. Okay. I will include for the radius, so make it circular, like 50%. And yeah, overflow. We used it before. We use this overflow to say whatever else border, make it hidden, so that nothing becomes outside the image box. So this is my image box right here. This is my H3, the heading, and this is my social media. Okay, so now we'll edit the image to make it center, to make it really clear. Okay. Yeah, let me add a border to the image box as well. So we finished everything. The image box. Okay. I'll make the border like 10 pixels. Use the type of it solid and give it a color. So I'll give it a color. For example, make it a little bit darker. You see here, this is the border now. Okay. Yeah, we finished now the image box. Now let's finish finally the image, and everything will be clear so far. So now I'll take this copy and take the same path and image. Now I'll style each image inside every image box. Now I want to make the position absolute, so that they are in the same position no matter what. Code 0, left 0, then width 50%, no, not 50%, maybe 100%. So I will specify the width and height for the image to be 100%, so that it means that the image takes 100%, it's the image box. Okay, so when I save, you'll see now the image is taking the full image box. Now it's not expanding outside the box. Okay, now you'll see it now, it's a little bit stretched. So how to fix this? Using the object fit. Object fit, yeah, this one here, and make it as a cover image. When I save, you'll see now it's a bit fixed. Okay, when I bring the images again, let me bring the images again. So this is the second image, and this is the third image. We save, and now let's see. Now I have my 3 images now. Okay, and they are taking the same effects. Why? Because we gave all of them the same image box, image box, and image box, and they have the same tag name, same reference to all of this. So everything we applied in the card applied to all the images, all to the card, all 3 cards. So that's why we use class names, so that we make the styling one time for as many elements as we want to include. Okay, I finished finally the image. Now what's bothering me now is the social. So and the text as well. We finished now this line. We finished the card, content, and the image box and image. Let's now edit the content box and the H3s. So we only have H3 here, so it doesn't matter. Okay, I'll take content and what's after the content? After the content, I have content box. And inside my content box, H3. So now we specified, now we want to apply the changes on the texts inside here, this text here. Okay. So yeah, as Ala just listed at the beginning, we want to like make the name, for example, have different styling from the title and anything that you include in the text. So how we do that? We'll use the span tag, and I'll show you that in a second. But let's now just finish the H3, all of the H3. Now we want the color to be white. Let me bring back the background of the body. Yeah, this one. Save. You can see now we have the default background that we used before, but text here is black, so let's just make it that white. So I'll go to the H3. Where's the H3? Yes. Change the color, please, to make it white. And let's see, now it's white. Let's add some stuff. So I want them all to be uppercase. So I'll use text transform property and use the uppercase so that all the letters displayed in uppercase. I'll add some stuff and let's see the change. So add some letter spacing, pixels, make some font weight, like 500, size, make it 28 pixels, and just text align, make text in the center of my content box. Save. Now I have a little bit of changes. Let's add more so that we make it like add margin. Okay, 20 pixels from the top, 0 from the right, and from the bottom, and 0 from the left. So I make some margins from the top and bottom. You'll see here now there's a little bit of margins here, a little bit of margins if you include any other things inside the content box. What else? Yeah, let's now differentiate between the names. If you want the names maybe appear in the first line and this second line and have different style. So here in my H3, now if you look here, we have all the texts beside each other. If you want to add some specific styling to parts of the text, you can use the span tag here. And what's the span doing? It's exactly like the division, like this division here. It's a container. It doesn't change, like if you see, it doesn't change the appearance of things, but you can use now the span tag to add specific changes to this text right here. And we use a span here. It's a really good container for texts. So why we didn't use division, for example, as long as they are the same functionality, because the division here makes this text in block element. So you'll see here now if I make this division, for example, you'll see here the change. You'll see now it becoming a block and taking the full width of my card. So using the span container, but it change anything in my texts so that it becomes the same, and giving me the opportunity to edit this as much as I can. So how I edit these two words, by using the span tag. So if inside my H3, so let's add that. So I'll go here, take the same path. Okay, so this is for the H3. Now I want inside my H3, I want to edit the span, give it its own styling. So how I will do that? Maybe I will make the font size maybe less than. It was 28 pixels, make it 18 pixels. The name is bigger. Font weight, make it 300. And save. You'll see here now my span is taking different styles, and they are all in uppercase. I want to make it again in normal, so I'll use text transform again, but instead of using uppercase, I will use initial does. It's giving its default values, like the text will be in default as they were without capital letters. Okay, so now I want to make them of each other. So how I will do that? I'll go to my H3 now and display in flex. Yeah, so that I'll make flex direction to be column. Where is column? Yeah, this column here. You'll see now they are on top of each other now. They are in one column. Yeah, so flex here controls, as you may already noticed, controls the position of elements in columns. Maybe you can use row reverse, column reverse. You have many values. So if we use row, for example, and if you'll see now, if we use row reverse, you'll see here the change. We reverse their positions. So flex here is really good to adjust the position of elements. So I'll use here the column so that I want them on top of each other. Okay, and yeah, I want to separate them more. So in this case, I'm using my H3 called line height. So I will make the line getting more height. So use the line height to be 1.1 EM. I save. Now there's a little bit of space. If you want to increase it, you increase the value here, for example. And the more you increase, the more everything will increase. Okay. I'll make it 1.1. Okay. Okay, now it's 10. Okay. So now this is what we got so far. Okay, we finished the image, we finished the text. Now let's go and edit the social media. Okay, I will give you now a way that you want, if you want to add logos and icons for the social media instead of fonts here. We will do it right now. Okay, let me remove this. Okay. Do you have any questions so far, guys, before we continue? Because we'll do now I will show you how to edit or add icons in your web page. It's really easy and free as well. Okay. So I added in my H3 these 3 values, and inside my span these 3 values. What's the effects of flex direction? Okay, so flex direction here, you will see. Let me show you. Here, when I go to inspect, Okay, I want to inspect on this H3, for example. This is H3. Okay, so here flex direction here, as you can see. Okay, so now it has many values. Okay, it has all of these values. So you'll see now when I use a column, I want to focus on the change here. Okay, so I will use column, not next to each other. Okay, column reverse will keep them in columns, but just reverse their order. We have here row as well. It will make them in rows and will reverse their order so that the name comes to the last and stuff like that. So flex direction here, controlling the flex property and yeah, controlling how they will look like. Their order will be okay. You want me to explain it again? Or is it great? Good so far. Okay, thank you. I hope it's clear. Okay. So now I'll go back to my code. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So guys, we are already nearly finished. Guys, now it's 10. Yeah, it's 10:12 here. Do you guys want a break, little break, and come back so that you get refreshed and start and finish after we come back? Or should we continue? What do you guys think? Okay, let's continue, and the break will be, I would like to see the HTML. Okay, so now we'll take a break. I'll show you the HTML now, Maram. And we'll take a break, like 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes break, and we will come back, okay? Yeah. You want to see the HTML? Okay. Which part, Maram, do you want? Okay, let me set a timer so that everyone. 10 minutes. Timer. Okay, so now it's started. Okay, let me just show you the HTML. Okay, and here's the timer. Okay, guys, so feel free to take a break, 10 minutes, and we'll come back. And which part, Maram, like, do you want to see the cards, or you want all of it make the font smaller? Okay, so now you can see a little bit more. So now starting from the body tag, I have a section that includes, yeah, that's great. Fine. Okay, guys, 10 minutes and we'll be coming back. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, yeah, the section closing tag. Yeah, these really simple mistakes always catch me. So yeah, it has, I swear. It's really normal thing, yeah. And you have to be really patient while doing this stuff, because I get a little bit frustrated sometimes. Yeah. It's really okay. Alhamdulillah, you got it back. So welcome everyone. Let's continue. So now this is our page so far. As you can see now, we've a little bit of code, still a little bit, and we will finish. So this is the final product, as you can see here. This is the final product. So you just want to edit the social media and do some animations like this. It's really easy. They are new, but it's a good thing that you learn something new. Okay, and all my cards here beside each other. So this is what we want. This is what we did so far. Now I'll make you guys now add some logos, icons instead of the text. It will be more visual appealing, and it's really cool, and it's easy, and I think just one line of code. That's it. But you have to download like 2 files or something like that. Let's go now and see how we include the icons. So I'll open Google and search for Font Awesome. Yeah, this one, Font Awesome CDN. Okay. So you will see here, this one here. Okay. So now when you open Font Awesome, you want to go to the start. Okay. At the beginning, whether you register with your email, or if you don't want, you can simply click download from here. It will download all the files that you need, and we will use just 2 of them. So I'll just click download, and here. Okay. So simply click download and choose where you want to download them. So I'll put it here inside my card designs. So this is my folder. Now I downloaded the file. So Font Awesome here is really good for the icons. Okay. So you can search for any icon that you want. For example, if you want Facebook and search about it, you'll see many logos for Facebook. Some of them free, some of them are paid. So you can just maybe want to use the free for now. So if these are free, you can use whatever you want. So pick the shape that you want. Maybe I don't want background in my Facebook, so I'll use this instead. Okay. So when you open it, okay, this is the logo, and this is the HTML code for it. If you click on it, you will copy it and place it in your HTML. And this is the code only, so you don't have to memorize anything, just copy the code and put it where in your HTML. So I'll put it here instead of Facebook word. I'll just paste the code that I got so far. So this is the code for the icon. Okay. This is the code for the icon. Okay, as simple as that. Let's bring for Insta as well, Instagram. And yeah, I'll use this. Thank you. And paste it instead of Instagram. And same thing for Twitter. I'll search for Twitter. This. So they are really free and easy to follow. Okay, so I copied just the code and I'll go to my HTML here and paste it here instead of the Twitter. And now I have all the logos. So when I save, you'll see the logos will not appear. You have to the logos will not appear. You have to edit some stuff that we downloaded so far. Okay, if I open the folders, okay, I'll show you now. Okay, so this is the folder. Okay, now go where I downloaded the file. I downloaded it here inside my card designs. So this is the folder right now. Extract here. Okay. So yeah, this is the folder now for the icons and fonts and stuff like that. You'll see here many files that you're gonna use. I'm not sure if you can see. Okay, so now you can see it, I think. So I'll just go to the CSS file. Okay, and you'll find here many CSS style sheets. You'll have all.min, brands, and stuff like that. We'll just use all.min, that one right here. Okay, just copy it and paste it inside your folder that you are using, beside your photos, for example, and paste. Okay, so now we have a style sheet on min that will allow the logos to be added. And another folder that you want is this one right here, the web fonts, called web fonts. Just copy it all, okay, and place it here, paste. So now you need these two from the font awesome thing. Okay, these all the folders that you need. So now how to connect them? Simply you'll go to the HTML now, and you will see now web fonts here is added and all.min CSS. So this is style sheet. Simply we will link it as we linked the style.css. So inside my head tag, also the link, okay, and right here all.min CSS. Sorry about that. Okay, save, and that's it. When we go to the website now, see here the logos. You see them? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's the way to upload the logos inside your web page. I hope it's clear. Do you want me to do some steps again, or is it clear? Okay, you can see them. Okay, so let's see the. So you just copy the code from the website for them, and what you have to do is adding this link tag and link the folder all in .css, and we have here with fonts as well. Okay, that's all you need really, and take the same code. Okay, let me copy it. It in all my cards. And save. We see all the cards now as the logos. Okay, so the step is now we want to make these logos down here as well. Okay, so let's do that. So did you finish the HTML? So now should we now go to the CSS? Yeah, one thing I forgot to add, guys. Do you see now the cards? You'll see here now the text is the only one that changed, and these did not change, right? That's simply because we added the span. Yeah, we added the span here, but we didn't add it to all the cards. So I'll just copy this. Okay, the creative designer, and add it here instead of this, and all my cards. Okay, you'll see now all of them are the same now. When you save, they will have all the same styling. So don't forget that. Okay. Now, we finished the image, we finished the text. Now let's go to the social media. Now let's go to the social media. Okay. You want to edit them. so that they become more visible. Okay. So now I'll go here below the span. We finished here. We stopped here. Now I'll see where is my social media and how can I edit them. So social media here is this tag here. Inside what? Let's see. It's not inside my content. It's inside my cart. So it's inside my cart. So I'll refer to by UL cart and inside container. Okay. So container cart and social media or UL. You can edit them by their tag name or class name. It doesn't matter. I just put it to be more clear for you guys. Okay, so container cart and social media. We copy it. Paste. Everything that I will do now, it will be applied to this list. Okay, and all the lists as well, because all the lists has the same class name. Okay, so let's see what we want to include inside. So let's see. So now they are on top of each other. Maybe I want them to be in one row. So I'll use the flex again and using display property, use flex. Okay, and as you can see, I didn't save. Now they are inside each other, next to each other. So this flex, we asked about it before. This flex making everything in one column or in columns. Okay, maybe make their position absolute. Make them in the bottom of my cart. Yeah, so using the bottom property and put some pixels, like I want them to be 50 pixels away from the bottom of my cart. So when I see now there's 50 pixels from the down of my cart and my icons are here. Okay. Okay, so click on my social media. I'll go to that in 1 minute. Okay. So now we finished the list. Now let's edit every listed item inside my list. So I finished. Let's edit every LI inside of it. Okay. So now maybe I want to remove these dots, these small dots. Here. Yeah, we used it before. Let's do it again. So the list here is taking the same path. Okay, same path. Okay. But now I want to add the changes to my listed items. Now I want to remove the dots, so I'll use the list style, okay, and make it none. When I save, you will see now the dots are removed. Okay. Second thing, we want to make them have margins. So I want the margins from left and right only. So bottom and top and bottom, I'll make it 0. And left and right, I'll make it 10 pixels. So you'll see here now, they are away from each other. Okay. Okay. What else? Yeah, let's add some transitions for that animation. Make it 0.5 seconds. And yeah, we'll add some stuff, but later. See now, we are here. But the reason that I can't click on them, because I forgot to add one important tag. It's called A tag, this tag here. A, so it's for making, yeah, I think you'll be confused right now. So I didn't change anything, okay? So let me do one thing. Let me just remove the icons. Okay. Okay, I remove now the icons. You'll see here now the icons is not there. Okay. So the one thing that you want to include is the A tag, this tag here. So simply you put your link here and the H reference that you want to go to when you click on this link. So for example, if I write here Facebook, see here now, it's in the form of link. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it now. So it's clickable now. Okay, and I can specify the reference that I want to go to when I click on Facebook word. Okay, but I will keep it now hash. It will go to the same page. It will not go anywhere. Okay, so the same page doesn't work. Okay, maybe you want to include here your first Facebook account and stuff like that. Okay, so now I will edit this code inside of my listed items. Okay, so now I have 3 links. Okay, one for Facebook, one for Twitter, and one for Instagram. And now what I want to know what to do is replace every word and put the link for the icon. So the link I will get it here from the second card. Okay, copy and replace. Okay, and copy Insta and replace it up. Facebook only. And do the same thing. Copy and paste it here. So now I save. I have my links and they are clickable now. Okay. So now take the same code and apply it to all social media links. Okay. So let's take these 3 listed items, copy them, and go to the second card and replace the code, and third card replace the code. Yeah, and all the codes now applied to all my cards. So yeah, you have to put the A tag. It's for anchor. It's like if you put here, for example, google.com. When I click on Facebook now, we'll go to another web page that you want. So that's the use for the anchor here. Okay. So you want to add your here inside here. Okay. So now, does it make sense, guys? The change that we made, we added just a tag, this one, and does it make sense, or should we try it again? Do it again. Okay, clear to me. Okay, it's simple. Okay, so yeah, it's my bad anyway. I forgot to add them, but you will face these problems in everything. So yeah, I think it doesn't matter. Okay, guys. Okay, now we finished the listed items. Now, one thing that I want to add is now we finished the list, ordered list, listed item. Let's now edit our anchors. Okay. So what I want to do. Oops. Sorry. Where is my? Oh, I closed it. Let me open again. Go live. Okay, so now I want to make them bigger, change the color and stuff like that, make them appear, right? Okay, so let's do that. Think here and put it here and take the tag name. So now we are editing stuff like that. So let's start by changing the color, make it white, make the font bigger. So if you want to increase the size of your icons, use the font size. It's really working with the icons. So make it maybe bigger, 28 or 28 pixels. You see now they are bigger now. And white, color white. And let's add some, add the transition later on for the patient. Okay, let's save. Yeah, okay. So I want to place them a little bit down. Okay. So now inside my listed items, I want them to be down. Okay. A little bit. So I'll use another property called transition or transform. Yeah, transform. And you have transform Y. I will use this one. This, it's okay, so this translate controls the position of the element in y-axis. You have also x-axis and you have z-index, but I use the translate y. Okay, I'll make it like a little bit down. So maybe make it 40 pixels. Let's see how this look like. Okay, so now they are down. Okay, by 40 pixels. So translate y. Now here is translate or transform their position by 40 pixels in the y-axis. Okay, and if you want to make them go up, you use less values or you use minus. Minus here goes up, the plus will go down. Okay. Now, okay. So, yeah, we want now to do the animations. When I hover over the card, I want it to be like this one. When I hover over it, the image and text become on the top a little bit, and my social media goes to the top again. Okay, so they are now in the bottom. Okay, so using the transform translate. If I want them to up again when I hover over the card, I'll take the same code here, the listed items. Okay, and just to change here whenever I hover over the card. So I'll add this. This means whenever I move my mouse over the card, it will do some instructions. For example, I'll use the same thing I used here. Okay, but I'll make it 0 pixels. It will go back to its original position. Okay, let's see. So now they are down. When I hover over the card, they go up. Okay. So I use this by adding the pseudo class called hover. We used it in the card. When we hover over the card, the opacity becomes 1 again. So we used it before. It's nothing new. Okay. So now one little thing I want to add is that I want my social media when they are down, I want them to disappear. And when I move my mouse over the card, they appear again. Okay. So I'll use the opacity, the transparent stuff like that. Here in the listed items, okay, opacity, and make it 0. Okay. So you see, invisible. Okay. But when I hover over my card, so I will go to this one here, right here, and add the opacity and give it 1 again. So now when I go, they are opacity 0. When I hover over the card, they get the opacity 1 again. Okay. Can we do this, the same animation to the image and text? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So let's the same to the image. So yeah, same apply to walls. It's nice. So how we apply to the image and the text? Okay. let's see where my image and text are located at. So there's my image here. Okay, so if I use image box class name, it will make the image go up, and if I use the content box, it will make the text go up. But in that way, I will do the code twice. So one thing that you want to do is both of these are included inside my content. So if I apply this change into my content in a single code, and this is why it's better to use containers, stuff like that. So this is one of the best practices that you asked about, Maram, last session. So if you want to include some elements, you better to make them in a container, for example, and apply the changes to this container. It will be applied to all what's inside. Okay, so let's do that. So we want to change the content class name inside the card. So let's do that. So I will search about the content. We wrote it before. Yeah, we already did it. Okay, we did that. The image becomes visible. Take the opacity 1. Let's add one line of code here. Make the same one, transform. Okay, and use translate y. Okay, and make it go up a little bit. So how we said we are going to move it up using the minus sign and put some values like 30 pixels, maybe 40 pixels, I don't know. Save. It's working. Okay, what if I use 30 minus 30? Let's see. It will go up by a little bit. Yeah, I think this better. Okay, and now all of them take the same styling as well. Yeah, so add this line of code here inside my content that has the class hover over the code. Okay, yeah, I think we finished. I don't know. Let's compare like this, what we did so far, and this is the final one. Okay, you'll see here one change only, that notice the social media, when they go up, they don't go up in the same order. Like Facebook first, Insta second, Twitter third. So you can do that as well if you want. And if you want to add the hover effects over every element to be bigger, for example, and change the color, it's really easy. Do you guys want to, we already finished what we are trying to do today. Do you want guys to add the effects, these effects about the social media and stuff like that? Do you know, or it's a little bit late today? Should we end the session? Okay for me. What about you, Maran? Is it okay to stick around, or it's a little bit late? I know that you are a little bit late in your country. Okay, so you are sticking? Okay. Yeah, okay, thank you guys. So now we'll finish them really fast. Okay. So let's break them down. What I want to do is, let's do the first change the color when I hover over each one of them. Okay, so let's add that. We already know that the class that we will use is called hover, but the problem here is to use it in the right place. So in order to make the changes in each, you have to apply it on your links right here on the A, not on the list or not in the listed items inside the link itself. I suppose that you can use also the listed item, but more accurate, and use it here in the anchor. So let's go down in our code. We stopped here. Okay, this is the code for the A. Okay, I want them to look like this. I want to take the same thing, but when I hover over the link itself. Okay, when I hover over the link, so I'll use the class name after after the A and close my brackets. So this is the normal styling for the links, and this is the styling for when I hover over the links. Okay. So let's, for example, the font size was like 28, 38. To see the change clearly, 38 pixels. Let's see the change now. So here when I hover over Facebook, it becomes Instagram bigger and Twitter bigger. See, we used only one code and we edited already like three links together. Use code. So this is the power for class names and organizing your work. It makes everything easy in the styling. Okay. So another thing that you want is you want to change the color, for example. So if you choose, for example, the color property, and if you want to make them, this light blue, for example, and see, so all of them become bigger and it change their color as well. Okay. So clear. Okay, so the example we saw now, every one of them has a different color. Okay. So do you know, guys, how to do that? Like, let me show you the code. So now all of them taking the same blue color because of what? Let me see the difference. So you have to see the difference between them in order to indicate it in the HTML. So these are all my links here. Okay, so all of them has the same tag name. Okay, same tag name and same anchor. Okay, there is nothing difference between them. So you have two options right here. Either you add class names in your every list item and name this book, for example, and make them different. Okay, Mister, for example. So you can edit every listed item. Okay, instead of writing here listed item, you write here Facebook, you write Instagram, and you write Twitter, and it changes the color for all of them. Okay, but I have another solution. We already know that solution. We said we can use class names to be more specific. Okay, but I have a new thing that I learned and I wanted to share with you guys. Okay, so I will add another attribute other than the class name. I will add variable. No, I will use the style attribute. Okay, so the ID, the ID will be more. It will be better used than the class names, because as we said, class names can be used multiple times, but the ID only once. But now I will use here. See this attribute here. I will use it to do two things at once. I will differentiate between all the links, and I will use it to make the timing for them, like this one here. The timing for this, this one. The Facebook comes first, and Insta second, and Twitter third. Okay, so I'll use new thing, but keep up with me. Okay, I will set a variable and I'll give it a value 1. Okay, I'll give this variable to all my links. Okay, and change just the value of my variable. So I want to access the Facebook. I will use the I when it's equal to 1, I when it's equal to 2, and I when it's equal to 3. And why I use that? So that I make their order again. The Facebook comes first, and in a second and third. You will see it now. So let me just copy this code in all my links so that we finish with this. So I'll add it really quickly. So it's new, but it's okay to learn new stuff as well. Make sure that you write them in the correct place. Okay, inside the starting tag of my listed item. Okay, so now I save. Now I can, yeah, I use here, see, for example, all my listed items, right? Because I used here listed item, but here I'll use the listed items using the attribute selector. So my attribute here in my HTML is style, right? So I'll write, sorry, is the style attribute equals, and yeah, okay. See, now I want the Facebook. So the Facebook has this value. So let's copy this and put it here. So Facebook, okay, so only when I hover over the link that has the style attribute with the value I equal to 1, it will only to apply to this element. So if I see here, this is the complete one, this is what we did. So now see here now, Twitter and Insta will not have any effects, but the Facebook now is taking the effects only. Why is that? Because we removed, we didn't say just listed item because all of them are listed items, and we specified using the attribute selector. Okay, we want to edit only the icon that has the style equals to I equal 1. Okay, so how to change how to make for Insta and Twitter? You will simply take the same code, copy and paste it 3 times, okay? And change those. That's it. Okay, and change the colors as you want. So maybe make this one and change this to be like this one. Let's see the change now. When I hover over the Facebook, it becomes blue, green, and red. Okay, so we finished the hover effect or the hover class name, this one right here, when I hover over my links. Okay, so now let's see how we will do tables to make Facebook appears the first one. So this is the final one. So you'll see here Facebook appears the first one. I think you can see it. Okay, you can see it. So now let's try to our code here. Okay, so I'll just close this one so that we're not confused anymore. So yeah, this is the one that we are working on. So now I want to add the effect. Okay, I'll use here, yeah. Okay, let's see where is my listed items. So these are my listed items right here. Okay. No, I'm gonna work. Yeah. I want the normal one, not the hover one. So this is the normal one. This is styling from my listed items, the Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Okay, we add some styles here. Okay, I will add here a transition delay. Yeah, this one right here. Transition delay, this will control the delay for each one individually. So function, okay. Now using this, I can specify the time that I want. So for example, I want 0.1 seconds, okay, multiplied by the variable. I'll use the variable, okay, this variable right here. This variable right here is the name for my variable. So yeah, it's R, okay. So now what will happen is that it will take the I for each one and put it here and multiplied by 0.1 second. So the Facebook will be 1 multiplied by 0.1 second. Instagram will be 2 here and Total will be 3 here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I wrote the wrong. It's calc, not click. So now I noticed that because the name was white instead of blue. So I figured this something not okay. So let's see now the change. You'll see here now it's working good. Okay. So the Facebook now becomes the first one to appear. And you can play with the time. Yeah, instead of 0.1, you can use 0.5 and see the change. You'll see here now it's much taking more delay. Okay, and leaving in the same rate as well. Okay, if you want to make it faster, you decrease the value, so 0.2 seconds. Now it's working, and as well, all the things that we did are working fine. So I'll just make it 0.1 so that it's really fast. Okay. And that's it, really, we finished. What do you guys think? It's really some creative designs, and you can use it in many use cases, as we said. If you or get familiar with the card styling, like this one, where's my card? Yeah. And you can apply it to many projects as well. Like if we said, if you have online store and you want to present your stuff, you can put in cards as well. And the box shadow here is really good, making like some shadows before the card, some effects. Yeah, this was so fun. This is a simple design. It's not complicated. It's not supposed to be complicated. Okay. I usually I went today slow so that everything it will be clear. But time after time, you will see that you get idea of what you should follow, what structure you want to do. I try my best to include some my thoughts here and there so that you understand what I'm doing. So we learned today how to do these cards, okay? To handle the styling for all of them, okay? And we know also how to include some icons from Font Awesome, okay? You download the file as we did, follow the steps, and just copy the old .main.css and web fonts folder to your folder, and you're ready to go. And we finished, I think, everything. So let me show the product again, final product. As you can see here, now we have 3 cards. You can add as many cards as you want, and with some animations and some effects. And so it was really fun with you guys. Thank you for attending. Let's see the chat if you have any questions. It was so fun. It seems complicated at first. Yeah. Yeah, because we didn't do any styles and stuff like that, and everything is messy. So yeah, you have to be patient, as we said. Do you mind sharing that? Yeah, I'll share with you guys in our WhatsApp group if you want, and the video on YouTube. Okay, I include the 4 resources. Like if we have slides, if we have code, I include it in the description. So I will include as well the link for the source code. So I uploaded already all the projects that we did in a link. You can access it by using going to our channel on YouTube, and feel free to download the files and the code and change it and practice it with yourself. Okay, Maran, if you want them now, contact me on private and I will send it to you, no problem. So yeah, every time we finish, I upload this code that we did together to the videos. Right, cool. Thank you guys for attending. Do you have any question about some tag, some properties, like for example, anything. It was great. It was cool. If you have any questions, I'm here. Okay. And thank you guys for attending. Inshallah, in next sessions.